A pleasant good day to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora, and elsewhere, world at large. Friends, let me apologize for the little technical difficulty that we was undergoing a minute ago. Regardless of all the difficulties, the change of mind or my belief will never change much. Because I wonder to know if these things are really a technical affair or something to do with not speaking your mind. But I would give and take and let it pass and let the mystery continue. But God be the glory. Today I want to talk about leaders around the world. The leaders that we, the people, elected to rule our country and to take us to the promised land and to take us to the frontier of development and all the false promises that they make we believe that they would have ushered to us. But instead, they turn around and do the opposite. They make a constitution that gives them the rights that they are untouchable by the corrupt laws that they make, only to be judged by we. He cannot do them anything. They are above God, they are above the prophets, but they can do all the wrong and they cannot be touched. Those are not leaders, my dear friends. Those are dictators. Dictators that you and I and others voted put into power. That's why a lot of them spend millions of dollars to get that seat. And fools like us listen to them and put them in political office where they make the law to deny our rights and justice. During the time of their preaching to you, you feel that they're going to walk on water and raise the dead. But when you put them in office, they limit the water and they cause a lot of us to death. Friends, these are the leaders of today. You cannot speak against them. Even though you're telling them the truth, you will be denied your rights and will be victimized by the corrupt people, the courthouse, the police, and the hitmen. And we have seen all kinds of things. Take the United States of America, the beacon of democracy, human rights, equality. We have noticed a lot of breaching towards all these things they spoke about. If you have Al Jazeera and other news, you will witness that Columbia University and many universities in America protesting for the Palestinian people, the rights of the Palestinians. In the late 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the year 2000, you could have hid the truth. But today, we are in the 21st century, and with a little computer and a cell phone, you can see the world for what it is. The enemy of the politician is a cell phone and a person who's willing to show it. Friends, these leaders, these hypocrites, but I wouldn't blame them, we have to blame ourselves. If you are a black race living in a dominant black country, you will have a tribal affair if tribal people are running for leadership. One, the Ashanti want the Gra want the tree, and that is a problem, conflict of interest in the same country. It's divided already on the vote. It's divided on already on the selection you make. So how do you expect to get better? Because it will be a lot of problem, a lot of criticism, a lot of holding back, a lot of go slow in jobs. And the money will go one area to friends and family and some of the supporters. Today we have seen the United States of America, the land that spoke about equality, justice, and human rights. The United Nations office is in Manhattan, New York. And I have witnessed that many countries vote against the Palestinian country, vote against Israel towards what they are doing to the Palestinian people. We all heard the 7th of October, the massacre from Hamas. And yes, if this was true that the Hamas really do it and not people with mass, we sympathize with the Israelite people. And we say it should have never happened. But it's a big question mark. A country with such a great police force, military, and well security, why on the 7th of October they were careless? They wasn't there, and these men were flying in parachute like they were eagles. Then these men should have been James Bond. My friends, I still have to question it. But whatever it is, it happened. Now, I would like to know those Jews that get killed if they were the settlers that arrived. And they were the ones that they used to do that to create an environment so they could get an opportunity to do what they want to do from the exception. From 1947, when they entered the country in Palestine as what you call occupiers, and in the 60s, coming through all the way with Arafat and many more, and what happened in the PLO, today they cannot hide it. Why you get a chance to live in a country when you've been pushed from 100 and something country, all in Egypt with Moses, you never have a resting place, suddenly become a place to rest which the people open arm accept you, because they would have been in Guyana. But if I, George Correa, could turn back the clock, I would have rather have the Jew in Guyana than have the Indian and the black. Let me tell you why. What I witnessed, and I got both race blood in me, what I witnessed in Guyana, what the blacks had done under Burnham, it is not forgivable by no race who get hurt. And I want you all to know clearly, not all the blacks was involved in it. The CIA brought a lot of them. They were Highlanders from St. Lucia and other islands. Came through Chagaramas, Trinidad, into Guyana, live amongst the people, and there was havoc in Wisma, Mackenzie, many parts on the East Bank, East Coast, and the West Coast. We have witnessed a lot. Indian was really the one who get hurt more, plus the Amerindia. A few Portuguese and Chinese, because the dominant black force, the uneducated, the illiterate and ignorant one, was brainwashed by corrupt politicians that attacks these people. The last one the other day on the East Coast of Enmore, Mondrepo, where they went into the market over the young Bacchus problem where police shot his son, a black family. And they went into the market, and what they have created with those people, most Indian style beaten, burning the minibus, another thing, until an Indian woman claimed she lost $3 million in roti per lorry, which was a lie. I would have jailed her for amplifying this thing more. But these are the things that happen when it happened. Ladies and gentlemen, and you, the black race in Guyana, don't say that you did not do these things, but not all of you. Because a lot of you intermarried with Indians, and a lot of you also mixed with the Indian blood, like I mix with black and Indian blood and others. Okay? Indian people, you have to learn to understand this, my black brothers and sisters. They are very corrupt, very vindictive, very covetous. They hate, very jealousful, and very ungrateful. They don't forgive so easy. They poison their own, lie on their own, and they pay you, the same black man, to beat and kill for them, and you so illiterate and stupid, you take it to do it. Even some judge and police to lock up them own. When these people get arrested, they're going to make a deal and your name will be called. How you all will feel when you hear that tree rap to your door, and when you look through your window or your peephole, your whole building surrounded with military taking you, your family out. How will you feel So let it be known to you, no crime shall go unpaid, present or past. We are victims of that, but not under the Burnham government, under the PPP and APNU. Because there's no justice in Guyana. We heard people are complaining about Abbey Isle. How could it be Abbey unless you're an Amerindian or a mixed race? Or a Portuguese or Chinese, because they are not claiming arrival and emancipation. The English language means if you arrive, that means you're a visitor. And if you're emancipated, you're free, go home. But if you're born in Guyana, you're a Guyanese. And then you could say, Abi, which is a Creole word, means all of us. But if you're going to claim emancipation and not constipation, and you're asking for reparation, the only solution is a national front government. And if you arrive and you lose your passport and your visa run out, you can reapply for a little more stay, or you have to leave the country. English language. But your politician, the two deceased, Burnham and Jagan, height, honorable man. David Granger, the only thing that I heard he says, according to information, it's alleged too many young black boys in prison. And he lose a lot of people. According to information, it's alleged again. Did he lose any Indian, mixed race? Any Amerindian? I like to know. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't hear the black people criticize him. That if we do lose only black people, why he didn't lose Indian? Mixed race. Amerindian. The native sons and daughters of the effing country. But even though they say he mixed with Portuguese, as a lad, he still said too many young black boys in prison. It's alleged. If he really said that, I'm glad they moved him. I congratulate Mr. Prasad for going against the no confidence vote. Ladies and gentlemen, but also a terrorist from Mackenzie been accused of terrorism, a black brother. I would not mention name because it's not nice to the family. We all know who I'm talking about. He was locked up for trying to blow up Kennedy Airport, where would have caused the death of a lot of black people and other races. And he died in prison, and they sent his body to Guyana as it was alleged, and David Granger called the man a hero when the world go against terrorism. Friends, the greatest terrorists in the world are the countries who calls the shot. But they call it diplomacy. They find all kind of names. They call it human rights. If you don't follow their policy, your government bound to be overthrown. A coup. And who they get to do it? Either they get one of your own, or they bring people from outside, or they assassinate you. So terrorism only belongs to certain people when certain people is not agree with it. But they do not tell people, those people who they call terrorists, who are attacking people, was only revenging some kind of thing that happened in the past to their family. Not so much their country, but their family. But we call them guerrillas, terrorists. We call them extremists. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole Africa is liberated now. Due to the colonial master, from Britain to England, from Holland to Belgium, I think Spain too got a little country somewhere in Africa there. Where is the leaders them? They're all black people. They are not grandchildren and children of slaves. They are the real grandchildren of a free Africa. The liberator who, the last country was South Africa to grant it independence. Had fought against apartheid. And by saying that, I congratulate the South African government to take Israel into court for human rights violation against bombing mosques, churches, hospital, school, killing civilians, But the friends of Israel only give lip service but give more bombs and guns to flatten it. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you are the President of the United States or England, the Prime Minister, Mr. Sunam, an Indian bastard, a Hindu, who don't like Muslims. If you have children, niece and nephew, brothers and sisters, how will you like somebody killing you all like that? They didn't do you nothing. They didn't even have a grain of sand blowing it on you. But look what you have done to them. But you say they are harboring terrorists. If it is true, then the country is Palestine and the terrorists is those who are doing it. I want to be fair, that's English language. How will the United States of America and England allow immigrants to enter through the border, give them shelter, and later they bulldoze in Texas, California, Washington, and killing our people, bulldozing their house and driving them into Canada or Mexico? Is that fair? I'm asking a question, but I am not the judge. God, Allah, and Bhagwan is the judge, and time is the jury, and the sentencing is the curse upon the nation. Leaders like this that speak with forked tongue, as the Apache once said, Sitting Bull Geronimo, said to the European, white men speak with forked tongue, Indians speak with one tongue. The white man says an eye for an eye. The Apache says Indian believe 40 for 1. Well, I ask you something. If my brother rob a bank and you cannot find him, you will come and arrest all the other brothers? So if Palestine and the people who support them is Hamas, fighting for their liberation, but they're working ordinary, going carry their business, carry that blow on the 7th of October, why these innocent people, children, have to be killed, and we, the taxpayer, we, the men and women, ready to go to die when our politicians go to be hiding in bunkers, getting land in some Caribbean reserve or some country with taxpayer money, but we are dying for them, and they say we are a true son of the land. God do not like that, ladies and gentlemen. They are good Jewish people. They are good Palestinians. They are good European. They are good African. They are good Chinese. But also, they are devils amongst all that I just mentioned. But no crime shall go unpaid, whether man give it or God shall give it. Think of it. I have seen a lot in this world. I want the President of America, the Prime Minister of England, and all who veto the ceasefire when the world called for it. Look at your children and grandchildren and consider one of those same people who was apart, living when bombs were dropping on them, blowing out their foot and killing them. I want you to look at that. I want you to tell me if that is right. And if you believe it is right, let God be the judge. And let us see how you will feel if you take the real judgment upon your family. Think of it, friends. We must unite and make this world a better place. We must stop this thing about slavery. And we must stop this thing about white man, black man. Nobody is white and black. It's a mentality. Every nation went through some sort of sacrifice and persecution. Look at Africa today. They are free and they are enslaving their own people. The politicians are going to France, England, all about buying big buildings and coming back to Guyana. The Indians today, a man claims if you don't buy the hot dog, he will scratch you off the list so you won't get the money you're supposed to get. That must be his money. He should be kicked out of the position and not given a job nowhere in government. And they should have his pictures all about for you to know him. Indian people, do not forget, they're very corrupt, spiteful, covetous, vindictive, revengeful, and they will use your own to destroy you for a few dollars. While you, the blacks out of Africa, but this slave trade and you want reparation, you better talk about returning back to your nation if you continue, because you are living in countries don't belong to you. And you are enjoying whatever come out of slave trade and all. And the Bible spoke of slavery, where the prophet, they were slaves. And God didn't stop it, and he got the magic power. Think of it, man. I don't want to continue in this. I do hope you all enjoy what I'm saying. Well, let's unite for a national front government. Open up the door to Africa, India, the Caribbean, and elsewhere, and let's help the innocent people around the world, excuse me, so they could take care of their family, worship their God. But we need a law. All life matters, and all religion must be followed the teaching of God, Allah, or Bhagwan. Unity, love is what we believe in. Not white man, black man, brown man, Chinese man. We believe in man and God. So for listening to me, I do hope we can work for that. And as I'm again, kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel. And I am your host, George Correa. Thank you for listening.